What's up, fam? Coach Cam. We are back again with another video. I'm going to be driving in my car on this one. Hopefully that's cool with you guys. I'm still going to drive safely, but I have some big news and I want your feedback on this one. So I kind of had an epiphany moment in the last hour during today while I was at work about training, and I want to run it by you guys, and I want you guys to leave a comment as to your thoughts behind this. So a little bit before we jump straight to it, my background with lifting, it's kind of hit and miss, right? So only 4 years ago did I decide, okay, I want to build muscle now. I'm sick of just doing body weight only stuff like I did before that. I want to build muscle now. So with that in mind, I started lifting weights, and I was in the gym 4 or 5 days a week, and I had a whole split routine. I was doing a bunch of different exercises. At this time, however, 2021, in my head, and a lot of people also think this way, and I think it still has some merit and is correct to some degree, that I was thinking, okay, a lot of these barbell lifts, they're for power lifters, right? The bench press, the squat, the deadlift, these are like powerlifting exercises. I'm not a power lifter. I want to build muscle. I want to bodybuild, right? I want to get fitter, healthier, and build lean tissue so I can be stronger, but mostly to look better and to have the health benefits of a muscular physique, right? And so I did not do barbell bench. I did dumbbell bench press. I still had kept weighted pull-ups in my routine, as I have for many years. And I did a plethora of other exercises with dumbbells, with cables and machines that I was at a commercial gym with. Fast forward to now, I am at my garage gym at my house, right? And all I have access to is a barbell, dumbbells, and cables. No actual machines, right? And what I realized was, recently I realized, you know what? You can train pretty much every muscle of your body with a straight bar, right? I've done pull-ups on a straight bar for years, and it's gotten me good results. You can do rows with a straight bar, either body rows, barbell rows, whatever it is, right? You don't need any special grips, any extra attachments, just a straight old bar. And, you know, I've been doing barbell Romanian deadlifts for almost a year now, and the weight is, I've basically increased it by 100 pounds since last year, just by doing Romanian deadlifts consistently. Sometimes the weight felt heavy, sometimes I didn't feel like doing it, but I did it consistently, and it's gone up 100 pounds. And on that note, it made me realize too, I started barbell squatting like 5 years ago, but then I stopped. I was doing it for a handful of months, and then I quit doing it, right? And it's really just barely popped in and out of my program. Same thing with barbell overhead press. I started doing that about 1 month ago, and I've made some steady progress on that exercise. All in all, what I'm trying to say is, I never picked the barbell exercises and just straight bar basic, very, very basic exercises in my programs. I just didn't pick those, and I thought there was nothing wrong with that. However, I think there is something wrong with that, and that's the idea that I didn't build that base layer of muscle and strength that a barbell lift gets you. Now, I know what I'm saying contradicts a lot of what I've normally said. Holy crap, this car just tried to kill me. But hear me out. So what I've done, not on purpose, but on accident, is essentially played hopscotch on the machines. I do an exercise for a few months, I rotate it, do a little bit of a different one, not on purpose, just generally I'm like, oh, I feel like maybe switching this up. You know, these are all effective exercises. Dips, dumbbell bench, cable chest press, weighted push-up, like they're all effective exercises, but I don't feel like I stuck with any of them long enough and progressed on them over time enough to get the most benefits to my physique, to my strength. And I think a lot of you guys will relate to this. Do you barbell back squat? Why not? I don't either, but why? Let's think about this. Why don't we barbell back squat? Well, I'm not a power lifter. Okay, fine. But I just wish I could say I've been barbell back squatting for 4 years now, right? 4 or 5 years. If I could say that, my back squat would be hundreds of pounds heavier. Just by saying that sentence alone, I've been doing this for X amount of years. Because for me, I've done weighted pull-ups for X amount of years, and that lift did go up. Consequently, my back is my most developed muscle group. So what I missed out on in this phase of trying to optimize my exercise selection and do the exercises I wanted to do and customize my programming is I missed out on getting everything to the same level, right? You see a lot of videos on YouTube, if you haven't, look them up, about strength standards for a novice, for intermediate, advanced lifters. What's the strength standards? And they'll say something like, well, intermediate level is a 225 pound bench press, 315 squat, and a 405 deadlift. And then they'll say, okay, you don't have to be a power lifter to get these numbers. And I completely agree with that. You don't have to be a power lifter to be able to do those numbers. But why can't I do those numbers? My bench press max is 270 from summer 2022. So about 3 years ago, I was bulked up to like 180, 190 pounds. I have barbell bench press 270 pounds. But that exercise has not been in my plan. And I've been like thinking, okay, you got to contract the chest, right? Humeral adduction and all of that stuff. And it's not wrong to contract your muscles intensely with the exercises. But a lot of the mainstream like barbell exercises, you can progressively overload them so much easier. I've been doing weighted push-ups. You know how hard it is? I don't really show the setup of that to put the plate on my back. Usually I'm using anywhere from a 25 pound to a 45 pound plate, but I'm doing multiple reps at this point. And where do you go from there? How do you add more than a 45 pound plate? You just kind of can't really, unless you really work with it and set up some kind of system. The plates are going to probably fall off, shimmy off. It's not ideal, right? And then it makes me question, why is the barbell bench press that bad? And it's not that bad. I've been demonizing it. If a straight bar works for your back muscles with pull-ups, rows, overhead press, deadlifts, you can do calf raises with a bar on your back. You can do barbell curls with a straight bar. If a straight bar works every other muscle of your body, then why do I think it doesn't work your chest? Oh, it's not good for your chest because it doesn't converge and this and that. It's not optimized. Okay, but I don't have access to that stuff. If you go to a gym and there is a chest press machine that you can use every single time without a doubt, there's no one going to be on it. You can hone in on that exercise and really build the chest. Then by all means do it. But that's not me. I don't have that luxury. I am at my garage gym. I have limited resources. I do have dumbbells that go up to 90 pounds. And that was my initial chest exercise when I decided to lift weights 4 years ago and build my body. I chose the dumbbell bench press. And I got my dumbbell bench from 45 pound dumbbells for sets of like 10 to 12, all the way up to 100 pound dumbbells for sets of 10. And I did 110 pound dumbbells for 6 as my all-time PR. I also gained like 30 pounds during this whole time. I was bulking, so everything was trending in the right direction, which is cool. But I still feel like there's something I'm missing, especially I don't do the barbell back squat. And I don't have a hack squat. I don't have any squat pattern. I was doing split squats, but then I kind of strained a little bit my hip flexor, rectus femoris, something like that one day. It tweaked on me. It didn't feel good for about a day, and I said, scratch that. I'm not doing it. The range of motion isn't optimal. I can't figure out, exactly how deep I'm going when I'm doing those. So I just said, forget it. But I think what this video, what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to revamp my training plan. I'm now done cutting. I'm going to be bulking, right? With proper mindset, not overdoing it, not underdoing it, just slow climb. And I want to do the basic exercises. I want to do the straight up basic barbell exercises. And here's why. One, the progressive overload of these exercises is insane. You can add as much weight as you want to the sides of the barbell. It's no problem, right? There's no question on how to add weight to these exercises. Number two, the way most people perform barbell exercises is they rep it as fast as they can. It's an ego trip, right? It's how much weight can I use? Can I use 2 plates, 3 plates, 4 plates? And they are trying to power lift, essentially. They're trying to compete with the way that they perform these just to hit those strength standards, right? That's not how I'm going to train these exercises. Okay, there's a guy on Instagram. I'm going to clip in some of his videos here where he advocates doing these barbell lifts, but actually with control. Slower and controlled repetitions, taking the muscle through full range of motion and progressing over time, right? So I feel like this is a perfect blend of what I'm trying to say. And he's inspired me along with Revival Fitness. Both of them have kind of inspired me to take this new approach where I'm going to still be contracting my muscles hard. I'm going to use the basic lifts, and I'm going to perform them under control with muscular tension, not ego lifting. So maybe the weights I use are going to still be lighter than the ones you use or your friends use and everyone else uses. They're still going to look lighter, but I'm going to contract my muscles intensely and progress over time. That's the fourth one that's going to be crazy. I will tell you kind of what the plan is, and you guys can run this with me if you want. It's winter time. If you want to bulk too, do it, but I'm calling this episode 1 back to the basics that I missed, the basics that I left behind, and consequently my physique is lagging, right? It's not that bad. My physique's not bad. I'm not saying it's terrible, but instead of trying to hopscotch my way to building, different muscle groups and kind of catch everything up, I'm going to back up and clean slate, start over basically, and build everything back up. So here's what the plan is. This is the workout plan I'm going to be following, full transparency. If I make any changes to it, I'll let you know, but this is kind of what I've come up with. It's going to be an upper body day and a lower body day. The upper body day, starting off, plain, generic, basic barbell bench press, right? With, just a slight wide grip, not a super wide grip, no crazy arch in the back, no leg drive. I don't even know how to leg drive. I'm trying to use this exercise to train my chest, shoulders, and triceps while getting exposure to the bench press. That's really all I want. That way, in the future, if someone's like, hey, we're maxing out on bench today, I can say, cool, let's do it. I know how to do that. I train the bench press. Whereas right now, I can't say I train the bench press. I'm not fully trained in the bench press, which I think is not ideal, right? I've done weighted push-ups. So what, am I going to tell someone how much I've weighted push-up? Like, nobody knows what that means. It doesn't compute. They don't understand that, and that's fine. I'm not saying it has to be that way. It's okay to do exercises that not everyone grasps, like the resistance and what you did there, but I do feel like I'm missing out on an exercise that's staring me right in the face, being barbell bench press, barbell back squat, because I've built my entire back off of just pull-ups, straight bar, just pulling it down. You could do this with lat pull downs, right? Just a straight up lat pull down. Same idea, right? Same ideology. And rows. I don't know exactly what row I'm going to pick. I don't really want to do barbell rows. I hear good things about them. I might do them. We'll see. Back to the exercise plan though. Regular barbell bench press. Not close grip, nothing crazy. Regular barbell bench press. And no crazy arches, no ego lifting. No butt coming off the bench. Straight up barbell bench press. All right, next is going to be pull-ups or chin-ups. For my sake, I'm going to do chin-ups because I want the bicep growth. And I've done pull-ups for years. It's the same exercise, just slightly different. It's the same thing. You can do pull-ups if you want. So barbell bench, chin-ups. Next is going to be dips. So I want dips in there. Dips is a big mass builder. It's a great exercise. I want that in the plan. That's going to be next. Regular dips, parallel bar dips with a weight belt. Okay. Number 4 is going to be rows, and either I'm going to keep doing the body rows, right? Body weight exercises, or I need to probably try the barbell row. See what I can get on that. Just stick with it. Stick with it for just a year at least, right? See how it goes. And then the 5th exercise is going to be standing overhead press. I've been doing this one the last month, maybe 2 months, and it's been going well. And I want that in the plan. Easy to progressively overload. Triceps, shoulders, really good builder there. Those are the big 5 that I want for upper body. And then I'm going to add a bicep curl, a tricep push down, and a lateral raise. That's the whole upper body right there. So that's 8 exercises. The bicep curl, am I going to do just straight up basic barbell bicep curls? I don't know yet. I haven't thought enough about it. I could do seated dumbbell curls. Whatever it needs to be basic, straightforward, and something that I can progress on over time and add weight and not have to think twice about what I'm doing. I think it's going to be just the seated dumbbell curls. I plan on supinating on my chin-ups and my rows, probably. So there's that. And then tricep pushdowns. Just a cut and dry basic tricep pushdown, a straight bar, V bar, whatever it is. I'm going to pick one. Actually, I have a dual cable, so I'm going to do cuffed tricep extensions. Easy. And then lateral raises, dumbbell lateral raise. Why question it? Why make it any more complicated than that? That's upper body. Lower body. Here's where it gets interesting, because the squat and the deadlift would be on the same day. So I have to decide the order of operations on these, while the deadlift definitely hits your low back and your squat essentially hits your low back as well. I think I'm gonna need to do squats first, because I have not, like I said, I have no experience consistently squatting. Getting through that rough phase, right? It's rough. It's a hard exercise. It's uncomfortable. But I need to just be consistent and push through that, and slowly I'll be able to add weight, and slowly it should get a little bit better. Let me know in the comments, is barbell squat worth having in the program? Or is it just a ton of fatigue and you might as well just do quad extensions, right? I'm still gonna do quad extensions, by the way. So it's gonna go barbell back squat, barbell Romanian deadlift, same thing I've been doing, just kind of a touch and go off the ground, Romanian deadlifts. Like I said, I've gone up 100 pounds this year from where I started. I'm at 355 for 6. I'm about to do it in like 30 minutes, so we'll find out if I get any higher. I probably will, especially with bulking, right? And then after Romanian deadlifts, I like to do shrugs, because you're right there in the rack and you can just use the barbell to strip off some weight, do barbell shrugs. Then it's going to be quad extensions, seated hamstring curls, and calf raises. Boom. 6 right there. Easy, straightforward, straight to the point. So there's 8 exercises for upper body, 6 for lower body, and everything I do, as I've been doing for 2 years or more, 2.5 years, is 1 set. 1 set for everything, controlled reps. You're not bouncing, swinging, jerking, kipping, ego lifting, cheating, none of that. Everything is raw muscles performing the work. And then I want to, so that's 8 and 6, upper and lower. And now it comes down to frequency. When do I train? How often do I train? I generally have been training every 72 to 96 hours. Once in a while, I'll train in 48 hours. If I'm really feeling up to it, or I'm in a pinch with my schedule. So I think with this being an upper-lower split, it's completely spread out. I'm thinking I'm going to do about every 72 hours. I'm going to be pretty cooked after legs, especially with the squat added in there. So I'm thinking, if you do Monday, you do leg day. Thursday is upper. Sunday is legs. Wednesday is upper. Saturday is legs. Tuesday is upper. So that ends up leaving you about 6 days between. See, this is where it doesn't sound very fun. It doesn't sound like I get to hit my upper body all the time, like a good gym bro, right? But with the bulk, maybe I can make it less. Maybe I could train Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or a 3-time a week type of split, and then take off 72 hours and then do it again. So 48 hours for 3 workouts, and then take off 72 hours. I'm going to try that with bulking, right? So you got to assume that your recovery is a little bit better, but you can also push yourself harder. So the way this would go is 1 week you hit legs, upper legs. The next week is upper legs, upper. And you just always go to the next workout. If you did legs last time, you do upper next. Let me know what you guys think. Does this sound reasonable? Am I making sense here? Or is this all gibberish and not making any sense, and all of the exercises I've been doing are still good and they've got me to where I'm at today? Am I missing something by having not trained all of the barbell lifts? Let me know your thoughts, because this is starting to weigh on me and I'm really close to just overthrowing my whole plan and doing these. So let me know what you guys think.